Hello students, welcome to Ekam Academy. In the series of our lecture, we are covering the chapter 3 of Indian economy called Economic Planning, Evolution and Strategy. The economic planning, evolution and strategy. In this, today we have taken a question because it is related to economic planning. The country's decision to do away with 5-year plans. We know that the 12th 5-year plan was the last 5-year plan. Okay. So the country's decision to do away with the 5-year plans was not an easy task. Its discontinuation signals weakness in its effectiveness. In this backdrop, elucidate how Niti Aayog will fill this gap with its objectives. So, how Niti Aayog will fill the gap where the 5-year planned approach could not bring the desired result is the main demand of the question. Okay. So, the objectives of Niti Aayog, which can be designed based on the weaknesses of the 5-year plans, is the main demand of the question. So, this is how we need to write about this answer. We'll start with our introduction. We'll say, as the question points out, the 5-year plans, though were successful in steering economic growth of India after independence, the 5-year plans failed in being quick to adapt to the changing demands, paving the way for its discontinuation. So, we are giving the biggest blame on the inefficiency of the planning approach or the 5-year plans in addressing the changing demands of the economic landscape. You can also write along with the changing demand, quick response, the quick to adapt to the changing demands. Along with this, we can also put in a dimension of adaptability here. Okay. So, this is how we will write our introduction. Coming to the main body, this is where we will write how Niti Aayog is trying to fill this gap with the objectives that are determined for the Niti Aayog. The first and the foremost objective of Niti Aayog is to ensure cooperative federalism by taking on board all the states and other stakeholders into decision making, into policy and decision making. So, this is one of the foremost objectives of Niti Aayog. This dimension, this bottoms up approach to economic growth was missing in planning commission the institution that was replaced by Niti Aayog, that was replaced by the Niti Aayog. Very, very important. So this is how we are talking how Niti Aayog changed the Planning Commission and adopted a bottoms-up approach and adopted the dimension of cooperative federalism by taking on board all the states and other stakeholders in the policy and decision making. This is the first objective of Niti Aayog that we'll talk about. The other objective is upholding or aspiring to work in the fulfillment of national interest, be it socio-cultural, political or economic. This was also missing in the planned approach. Through its think tank, very, very important. Through its think tank, Niti Aayog bases its policy decisions on evidence-based planning rather than solely driven by political compulsions. Here it relies on research papers, academic feedbacks, surveys, stakeholder discussions, very, very important, based on evidence-based what you call decision making or evidence-based planning, academic feedback, surveys, stakeholders discussions to draw policy conclusions. We will continue to write one more line here. As it is solely a recommendatory authority, as it is solely a recommendatory authority, it is not influenced by political compulsions. Unlike its predecessor, Planning Commission. This is very important dimension of Niti Aayog. Okay? So very, very important dimensions we have written. Okay? In addition to the above, Niti Aayog charts out long-term objectives, keeping in mind India's national interest at a global stage. At a global stage, very important dimension. At a global stage, India's national interest at a global stage. It also supports innovation and technology adaptation in policy making, keeping its functioning aligned with changing landforms or landscape of the economy, making it adaptive and responsive rather than rigid or inflexible approach. So this is how the objectives of the Niti Aayog are changing over a period of time. Means basically with an intention to promote the economy of our country. What we can write in conclusion? As a think tank, it wishes to be a silent contributor in the nation making, without calling for media attention, short-term agenda, short-term approach to planning, making it a unique organization, that is objective, responsive, innovative policy making institution. So that is how in these 4 slides we have written about how Niti Aayog will fill this gap, the gap that was never cleared or filled by the 5-year planned approach to economic development. The biggest achievement of Niti Aayog is basically its think tank capacity. The capacity of the nature of functioning is that it calls the expert to sit, talk, discuss and then design something that will work best for the country. And also very important, its spirit of cooperative federalism. So that is how we have written today's answer. Okay? Thank you very much. Keep listening, keep writing with me and keep watching the videos. Thank you. Jai Hind.